Here's the thing though. Genesis 5, the purpose of Genesis 5, and a lot of people read Genesis 5 and they're bored by it because it just seems like a lot of names. But unless you know where you're going, it's boring and where you're coming from. What Genesis 5 does, Genesis 5 cuts a tunnel through a large mountain of history. That's what it does. It cuts a one-lane tunnel through a mountain of history because it follows the genealogy from Adam, Seth, and wherever that line goes, all the way down to Noah. The purpose of Genesis 5 isn't to give us every line of Adam and every line of Seth and all the family of Cain. And we see a little bit of that in chapter 4. Since we are talking about Cain, let's just see who came from Cain. All right. But chapter 5 links us to Noah. In chapter 5, you'll find out some fascinating things, like how long people actually lived. Because Adam, he lived, verse 5, 930 years. And Adam, when he was created full grown. It ain't like today where you got to be born a baby, wait to grow up till you reach puberty, to the stage where you are now able to start reproducing and bearing children and having It ain't like that. Adam and Eve were made full grown. The earth was full grown. Mountains were full grown. The sun was full grown. Trees were full grown. Animals were full grown. Reproduction stage. Here's the point I want you to get though. Genesis 5 links us from Adam to Noah. And again, we find some other interesting things here, like how old the oldest recorded person lived. And I keep using the word recorded for a reason, because we don't know everything. And everything's not recorded for us to know. And Deuteronomy 29:29, put this in your pocket. The secret things belong to the Lord. But those things that he reveals to us belongs to us, to our children's children forever, that we may do them. Even in the Gospel of John, John said, I could have wrote so much to you, but if I wrote everything about what Jesus said and did, the libraries of the world could not contain all this information. Just imagine your family. Oh, let's just take your church history. If you were to write down all of everything that you did as a local church, your library couldn't contain it. And that's just one organization. Think about a family that lived over 900 years.